Hello students, welcome back into the another session of CS02 Programming in C. As all of you know that we are discussing about the last unit of our subject. The name of unit is Pointer with File Handling. Into the pointer we are discussing about, we have already discussed about the various topics like introduction to pointer, use of pointer in dynamic programming, pointer to variable, then pointer to array. Now we are going to discuss about pointer to structure and then we'll go for pointer to pointer. So let's start with the topic called pointer to structure. Now before going ahead about the practical discussion about pointer to structure, let's have a look about structure first. What does a structure means? Structure is a group of elements with same name and uh, with different type with same name. That is called a structure. Again, I am repeating my definition. Structure is a group of elements with different type with the same name, and pointer means pointer always points to the address, not to the value. So now what we have to do is we have to point the pointer at structure and its member. This is the core part of the entire discussion. So now let's start without wasting more time. Let's go into the C editor. Create our program. First we have to note down the necessary library function, that is hash include stdio.h and hash include console input output.h. Then there is a void main which is called as main executable statement and the bracket which demonstrates the structure of programming in C. Now first here I am creating our structure called student with the keyword struct, and inside that student structure here I am taking two members where the first member is roll number and second member is name. Now as per the theoretical and practical session of structure and its variable declaration, structure should be completed with a semicolon. So here I am writing the semicolon, and then as per the theory of the same, here I am redeclaring structure as a dummy variable name called S1. Then inside the void main statement, first there is a label called printf. Enter your, or you can say enter student roll number. Then there is a semicolon. After the semicolon there is a scanf statement, %d, comma. First we have to point the pointer at a specific location. So for that here I am redeclaring structure member as a pointer variable. So what I am doing is struct struct s1 pointer p. That means pointer points to the structure and then it will access the different members. Then after here into the scanf statement, that means scanf %d p points to the first member, that is called as roll number. Then enter student name, which is the second member of structure that we have created. Scanf %s, because character array we have taken, and person p points to the name. Before going ahead, let's check for the syntactical error. Program is not still completed. We are just checking it intermediately. Let's directly write it over here like pointer p. Okay, now as you can see that there are no syntactical error. Let's complete our code first. So this 5 logical line will read the name of student from the user and the roll number of the student from the user and stored it inside the created structure called student into the member name called roll number as well as name. Now let's print the same onto the screen. That means printf your roll number is %d comma roll number. That means pointer access the roll number, and then /n. That means onto the new line it prints the name of student. That means your name is %d p and the name. Let's run the code. Suppose I am entering the roll number called 123 and then I am giving the name called MVM. So 123 is printed as a roll number, but why the name is not printed? Because here I have taken %d, instead of that I have to put %s. So let's run again. I am giving 123 then MVM, so that is printed onto the screen. For that here I am writing CLRSCR. So as you can see that onto the screen there is a 123 as well as the name called MVM. So let's see this particular code into the notepad for better visibility. C drive, turbo C, disk, turbo C, bin, and the code I have saved with 17.c. Let's open the code. What I have done first is, after writing a necessary library function, first I have created a one structure called student with two members called roll number and name, and I have redeclared that particular structure by initializing the pointer, which is called as pointer P. Then I have given the dummy name called S1. Then I have pointed a pointer into the location of S1 by giving a line like P is equals to ampersand S1. Then there is a CLR SCR. Then there is a message called enter your roll number. Then roll number will be read by the pointer variable. Then the name is read by the pointer variable, and then both the values will be printed onto the screen by the label called your roll number is so on and your name is so on. So write down the definition for this particular program. The definition should look like this. Write a program which creates the structure called student with two members, roll number and name. Write a program which create the structure called student with two member called roll number and name, and store values inside this variable using pointer and print the same value onto the screen. Now just pause the video and note down this particular program for your future purpose. Let's go ahead. Let's practice more. In my next program, I am taking the reference of program that yet I have created. That means this particular program. First, I am changing the name of structure as a test. Then a single member I am declaring in this particular structure, which is called as A. Then I have set the pointer variable as a dummy variable name for test structure. I am initializing the pointer at the address of test structure that I have already created. Then after CLR SCR, here I am giving the message enter your number scanf %d. P points to the member of structure that is called as A, that means P dash A. Then over here there is a one decision making statement which checks a pointer points to the address is greater than 0 or not. If it is greater than 0, then it prints positive or it prints negative. That means this particular program will check for the value which is stored inside the structure and its member, whether it is positive or negative. Let's start. Say for example I am entering 3, it's a positive value. So there is a message called positive. This is correct. Let's rerun the code. Say for example I am entering -7, then it prints negative. Let me check one thing. minus 7, then it prints negative. Let's check simultaneously one by one. 2 is positive, address is missing, I think. 2 is positive, perfect, and minus 5 is negative. So this program works properly. Now let's say this particular code into the notepad for better visibility. Let's go back into the 17.c which I have stored inside the specific location, turbo C disk bin and 17.c. After writing the library functions, there is a declaration of structure. Name of the structure is test. The dummy variable which is assigned as a pointer variable called p, and the local member is a. Then into the void main statement I am accessing that particular variable by first assigning the pointer at the specific address of the structure called s1, and then I am giving the message called enter your number. Scanf statement will read and store the value inside the structure member called a. Then this particular decision making will check that that particular number is greater than 0 or not. If it is greater than 0, then it prints the message called positive, and if this decision making statement is false, then it will print the message called negative. Write down the definition for this particular program. Write a program to check number is positive or negative using structure and pointer. Write a program to check number is positive or negative using structure and pointer. So this was all about, I think, sufficient examples about how can we go for pointer with structure. Now into the first section, the last topic is pointer to pointer. Let's have a look about the same. What we have to do in this particular topic: for learning about pointer to pointer, before going ahead about this as a theoretical discussion, we have introduced pointer with variable, then pointer with operators, then with a decision making statement, with a looping control structure, with structure, with array. All these are the separate chapters that we have already discussed into the previous lecture. Now this is the time to go on the extreme advanced level of this entire chapter, or you can say the subject, that is called as pointer to pointer. That means we have to use pointer for itself, that is called as pointer, which makes the topic called pointer to pointer. Now let's start with the theoretical session first, that how it actually works. So for that, here I am writing pointer to pointer in C. This was the best theory which I have. As you can see onto the screen, a pointer to pointer is a form of multiple in direction or a chain of pointers. Normally, a pointer contains the address of variable. When we define a pointer to a pointer, first pointer contains the address of second pointer, which points to the location that contains the value as shown into the diagram that I have written over here. Pointer and its address points to the next link, and the pointer of next link points to the variable in which the value is stored. So here there is a case of two redirection in which there is a call of reference, there is a call of address. For the two times you will get access the value. I know this is little bit difficult to digest, but we'll try to make it simple by just introducing this theory. A variable that is point to a pointer must be declared in such a way. This is done by placing the additional asterisk in front of the name of pointer. For example, up to this, whenever we are declaring the pointer, we are using a single asterisk. Say for example, suppose I am writing like this. Now you can easily identify that this is the declaration of pointer. Now what we have to do for the current topic, instead of the single asterisk, we have to put the double asterisk. And whenever you put the double asterisk, it justifies the theoretical concept called pointer to pointer. I try my best to make it as simple as possible. Let me repeat again. When we write integer pointer p, it's a simple declaration of pointer which we are doing in routine. When we write like this, it points to the address of variable which we have declared. That means pointer points to the address of variable which we have declared. Now suppose we redeclare it like this, integer 2 time asterisk pointer p, then it is called as pointer to pointer. In this case, even it is called as double pointer. What theoretically it does? It points to the reference of the reference, and then it points to the value. So it is little bit complicated also. Let's make it simple by giving a one example. What I have done into the example you can see over here. Will not go in more example, will not discuss more example about this particular concept. Hash include standard input output dot h, then there is a main executable statement with brackets, there is a first local variable, then there is a second simple pointer variable called ptr, then there is a double pointer variable, that is ptr. As you can see that there are two asterisks. Then I am declaring the value of local variable as a 3000. Then I am putting the pointer variable at the address of variable called var, and then pptr points to the address of pointer. See, this is the logical main part of this entire program. First pointer points to the address of variable in which the value is stored, then pptr is actually a pointer which points to the itself pointer called ptr by writing pptr is equals to n%ptr. Then there is a printf statement where it first print the local variable, then the second line prints the pointer variable which is set onto the local variable, and third line points to the pointer which is pointing to the address of variable in which the value is stored. Ultimately you will get 3000 three times in this particular program. Let's cut it down. We don't want to go for more number of examples in this particular topic. So all the topics related to the pointer gets completed over here. Now this is the time now what we have to do, now we have to go for the second and the last section of unit number 5, that is called as file handling. This is very important for next semester subject called Advanced C and Data Structure. That means in semester number 2 you have to learn this particular subject. For that we required the knowledge of file handling. That's why I am communicating with you. This is very important. Now various topics like concept of data file, file handling, use of different file handling functions like fopen, fclose, fprintf, fscanf, getw, putw, fseek, ftell, rewind, freopen, remove, rename, feof, that is end of file, ferror, flush, fgetpos, sprintf, snf printf, vsprintf, vsnprintf, fscanf, vfscanf, then set buffer, set vbuffer, input output operation with command line argument. All this topic we have to discuss about the file handling. Once we complete all this topic, it's a matter of 2 lectures now. Once we finish all this topic, the entire syllabus of your subject called CS02 gets completed, and in next lecture, that means after the completion of 2 lectures, in my third lecture, I will give you the important question list for the Saurashtra University examination. So be punctual for listening the lectures. Thank you very much students for listening me, and have a nice day.